video game demos just awesome. The amount of demos that I have played in the last month, just the last month, has been so endless. I feel like the list is endless of the amount of games that I have checked out through Steam Next Fest, through all of the announcements during Summer Games Fest, and just all the other showcases that happened throughout June. And my goodness, I cannot believe how many video game demos I have played. I can't believe how many video game demos there were out there. It's almost like the whole Steam library decided to give us all of the demos. Steam was like, here, there's a demo for practically every game that's here that hasn't been released yet. So have at it, have fun, and pick and choose the ones you like. And that's the reason why I love video game demos. The demos, they give you a little taste into what you will expect from the games that are being made. And, you get to try the game out, even if it isn't in its finished form. They give you a small portion of their game, depending on the style of game and genre of the game. If it's a visual novel style with a lot of, story-rich plot points, then that the most of the time it'll be like a prologue, which is like the pre-chapter 1 sort of a story. But if it's like a puzzle game, then they'll give you maybe the first couple of levels or maybe some random ones. It really depends on the game's genre and what the developers want you to see, essentially, because I know that when the developers create these demos, and I'm pretty sure it's not easy to create a demo, so it's probably the reason why a lot of game developers don't always put demos out for their games, just because of the fact that it's probably going to use up more of their time and their resources to be able to create these demos. But when a developer provides you with a demo and you have that game wishlisted, go out and play it. It's there for a reason. They want you to see what you're going to get from the game. And the sheer talent that these developers have, not only to create a game in general, but just to be like, we're doing this, here's part of the game for you to check out. I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself with different words, but I just want to reiterate that demos are awesome and you should play them when they are available to you. I have played a lot of demos throughout the month of June, and I thought maybe this might be a good time for me to just sort of roll off the list of demos that I have played and what I thought of the game's demos, which in turn then made me decide whether or not I wanted to, wish list them or keep them on my wish list or anything like that. That's another thing too with game demos. Like, you might have the game wish listed, and then when they give you a demo and you play it, you might think about it and be like, I don't know whether I like this now that I've played a bit of it. It really depends. There have been games that I have, like demos that I've played for games that I was really excited about when they were first announced, wish listed them so that when a demo was available, I'd be able to play the demo. And then, I have a change of heart and my mind, like I think otherwise about the game because it showed me what the game was about. And then I turn around and think, maybe this game really isn't for me. And then I can turn around and be like, all right, I'm not going to keep this on my wish list just because I don't know whether it'll be worth my time and my money in playing this game if I didn't like the demo, who's to say that I'm going to really like, I probably won't like the full game. So I would rather, if I play a demo and I don't like it, or I don't jive with it, or it's not for me, then at least I can say, hey, I gave it a go, and it just turns out that it's not for me. So then I can be like, all right, cool, I'm going to take this off my wish list. But then there are games out there that I'm not even sure about that's not on my wish list. And then I play the demo, and then I'm like, you know what? This game's actually really cool. I like this demo. I'm going to wish list it. So let me chuck it on the wish list. There have been many instances when that's happened. So, there's going to be a few demos that I'm going to mention here, a few games for the demos I've played that I'm going to be mentioning that I've either really enjoyed and kept on my wish list, that I didn't enjoy and removed from my wish list, or demos for games that I wasn't even aware of were available, like games that are coming that I wasn't made aware of. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to play the demo and see for myself. And so we'll start off. We'll start off with the Star Named EOS demo. I actually really enjoyed that demo. It was really sweet, very wholesome. It's a photography-based puzzle game. Very sort of kind of like a interactive fiction, story-rich game. You go around and you're essentially you get letters. So it's a daughter who is receiving letters or reading letters from their mother, and then the mother is also sending pictures, like photos. And what ends up happening is you have to try and recreate that photo in the room that you're in at the time that you're reading this letter from your mother. And it's actually really cool because it means you have to look for all the different types of items that's going to make this photo, that you're going to be able to, for you to be able to take this photo. And it's actually a really interesting concept because it also involves puzzle elements to be able to unlock things like chests and cupboards and all that sort of stuff. You also have to, spot the difference in certain areas. So it really depends on what you're looking for, what the puzzle is, to be able to unlock certain things to get the items in order to recreate the photos. You also have to frame it up really, really well, so that it then will trigger and then it'll trigger a story. It'll continue the level to the next area and all that sort of stuff. So it's actually a really cool concept for a game, and I really enjoyed the demo to that. So I'm keeping that one on my wish list, just purely because of the fact I like photography. I used to love photography, but unfortunately since then I haven't really kept up with photography. However, whenever I do get a chance to, take photos, I will. And I really love, framing up photos like really nicely, or I try to do it professionally. I don't think I'm very good at it, but I still do my best. And most of the time they do turn out really well. So I do kind of pride myself in my photography, even if it is just on the phone, because everybody's got a camera in their pockets. So why not use it? The Star Named EOS, that one I'm definitely looking forward to. One that sort of didn't really cross my mind was a game that I came across on my PlayStation Store. Now, if you're on the PlayStation Store, I highly recommend you scroll down to the demo section and actually go through the available demos that you can play. And you'd be surprised as to how many there are available to play. So if you do have a PlayStation and you're looking for something new or different, I would highly recommend checking out the demo category in the PlayStation Store. Because you'd be surprised as to what there is available. And there's a variety of different genres that pop up. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking that out. And the one that I came across, on the PlayStation Store, was called Fishbowl. Now that one's sort of got like a pixel art graphic. It's a sort of it's a interactive sort of story rich visual novel almost. It's not a full on visual novel, but it is like there are interactive elements where you are the main character is moving around in a room, but the story of Fishbowl is based around you being in lockdown at home. We've all experienced it now, and this is pretty much that game. And I was very very taken aback by the story of Fishbowl. It's essentially, like I said, story rich. It's an RPG, and you're also it's a top down sort of look, almost like Stardew Valley, but it's not as small in terms of like your characters aren't as small on the screen. It's a little bit more sort of zoomed in, but it's very cute. There's some puzzles involved, but you're essentially, it's essentially a coming of age story, and you're just having, video calls, Zoom calls essentially with people. And it's actually really cool. And the Fishbowl demo is still available to play. You can play it on PlayStation and on Steam. So those demos are still there if you want to check it out. And please do, if you do enjoy visual novel and sort of like pixel art graphics, you'll definitely enjoy Fishbowl for sure. It is a little on the, I think the demo itself doesn't give you too much away, but I have a feeling it's going to be an emotional ride for sure. So yeah, expect to be, hitting the feels if you do end up getting this game. I am very much looking forward to checking out Fishbowl. So at the moment, there's no planned release date just yet. They've only just announced the game itself. I'm really looking forward to this. It looks really cool. It's by the developers are IMissMyFriends.studio. Go show them some love. Check out the Fishbowl demo, and yeah, let me know what you think of that game, because it's actually quite interesting, to be honest. Like, I wasn't expecting the level of like the art style is very cute, but it's actually really pretty too. So I really like that. But it's a really cool looking, visual novel RPG. So just have some fun with that one. Another demo that I was able to play is an Australian-made demo, an Australian-made game by the name of Copycat. Now, there are a lot of cat games out there these days, and you would think that every cat game that you've played is pretty much the same. Copycat is sort of similar to Stray. Like, it takes elements from Stray a little bit in terms of its realism, I suppose. But it's a little bit different. Like, it has different gameplay elements to this compared to Stray. It is very atmospheric, and it's also like it's very story rich as well. And it's made by the developers at Spoonful of Wonder, and it looks really cool. They've said that it's going to be coming out in September of this year, September of 2024. But there's no hard release date specifically. They've just given us a month. But it looks really nice. I played the demo to this. There's some voice acting involved, and you're going to hear some Australian accents in this. It's narrative driven. You're a newly adopted cat from a shelter that an elderly person adopts. And you're sort of going through the story of this cat. A lot of pets, usually when they're being adopted, they have to get used to their new surroundings. And a lot of the times, pets can be like, especially cats and dogs, they can be afraid of what's going to happen to them because of their past. And in this particular game, the cat has had a very bad past. And so they're very cautious of their new owner. And you end up, it gives you prompts to, bite and scratch the new owner. You can hide from your owner. You can run away. But there are story points that make you want to go back to the owner because the owner is also sick. But I'm not going to go too much into it in terms of like its story beats. I'd rather not, spoil it for you. So I would rather you go check it out for yourself. It's a really interesting concept. And then, the cat also has dreams or nightmares, depending on how you want to look at it. And yeah, it's really fascinating. So I would definitely check out Copycat. Do be aware that if you're playing it on PC, depending on your computer's graphics, it may not run the best. But if you've got if you've got one of the best graphics cards and you've got a high-end PC and it runs really good games and all that sort of stuff, I think you'll be fine with this game. But if your PC is like mine and it's old and it's got a very old graphics card in there, there may be some points of lag, unfortunately. But that was just from the demo, so there is a possibility that maybe the demo itself is just not, giving you a 100% clear-cut visual of the game. But it looks really good from what I've seen and from what I've played. So I would definitely check it out. The next few games that I want to mention were actually announced through the Day of the Devs at Summer Games Fest. And the first one is called While Waiting. This one is developed by Optilusion, and it is a comedy puzzle game where you are essentially doing things while waiting for other things. Hence the title of the game. The demo to this was hilarious. They gave you, I think, about six to eight different levels from like different points of the game. It's not the first 8 to 10 of them. It's actually 8 of the different levels that you can play in the game, which is really cool. I kind of like when game developers do that with their demos. Is if it's a puzzle game and they know that you're going to get random sort of puzzles, they want you to get a feel for the difficulty, what you're going to get from each of the levels and all that sort of stuff. So they just sort of throw in a bunch of different ones so you get an idea. And While Waiting does that as well. You go from doing things while waiting for a bus at a bus stop, while you're waiting for your health points to increase on a mobile game, while you're waiting for an elevator, while you're waiting for your boss to finish a presentation, while you're waiting for your luggage to arrive at the airport for you to collect. There are so many things that you're waiting for, but you get to do things while you're waiting for them in this game. It is the art of waiting. That is essentially what this game is about. And let me just read what the developers have written about their game, presented by the team behind critically acclaimed Moncage. This is a transformative adventure exploring the art of waiting. Clear the game by doing nothing, but discover the power of acceptance and patience in numerous situations from birth to death. Learn to embrace life as you wait. How cool is that? That is a great description for a game. But you've already got me hooked in by the title, While Waiting. While waiting for what? That has me curious. I need to know, what is it that I'm doing while I'm waiting? And it's very whimsical in the way that they've presented this game as well. And there are like so many different weird things that you can do while you're waiting. And it's just so much fun. The other thing that they also, the way that they actually presented this was, you can actually, I'm pretty sure it's not just going to be on PC, but I think it's coming to mobile as well. So if you wanted to play this game on mobile, you could be playing while waiting for your IRL things. Like if you're at a laundromat waiting for your washing to be finished, to be completed in the machines, and to be washed and dried, you can play this game while you're waiting. Are you at a bus stop waiting for your bus? Are you at a train station waiting for your train? You can play this game too while you're waiting for them. Like, it's such a brilliant idea for a game. Like, I would not have even thought of this, to be honest. And I just had so much fun. It was so funny. There are moments in the game while you're waiting when you're trying to figure out the puzzles. It can get a little bit like, oh, what do I need to do here? So you just start sort of exploring the area and you're like, oh, can I, you start trying to click on things, see what is interactable, what isn't, press all the different buttons that you can find, try to do something within that area, and it's just hilarious. There is one level where you're a kid, wait in a car with your parents, but you're waiting in traffic in the car, so you're just sitting there in the back seat doing nothing. But the other option is you could wind down your window. You could get out of the car, because the traffic's not moving at all. The traffic is literally standing still. There is no movement in traffic. So you're just sitting there waiting for the traffic to move. You can get out of the car. You can explore the landscape of where your car is in traffic, essentially. You'll find some ducks. Get you'll find they're little ducklings, by the way. Find these little ducklings. You need to get them to their mother. Help them get to their mother, but you have to cross the road on the other side to get to the mother duck. How are you going to do that? You might get hit by the oncoming traffic. What are you going to do? How are you going to get them there? It's just like, it's just these funny moments. But the incentive to playing, to getting through these levels is you get these cute little stickers as your achievements, essentially. So you get, there's a list of tasks in order to clear the level. One of them being you do nothing at all. You just wait and these are timed levels, by the way. Did I mention that at the beginning? These levels are timed. So there is a point to when the waiting actually ends, and then you move on to the next level. And an option from the task list is to essentially do nothing at all. But then there's also a few other options that you can do, which gets you to explore the area, to be able to just interact with whatever you can and all that sort of stuff. So while waiting is definitely worth your time. Go check it out, the demo. It's available right now on Steam, and you can play it right now. No release date just yet, so this is on my wish list, waiting for a release date. I'm just waiting for that announcement. But definitely go check out While Waiting if you can. Another game that I am very much looking forward to, and it is also another very comedic, whimsical sort of a looking game, which the demo is also available to play if you wish. is called Building Relationships. My goodness. This is the talk of the town. No pun intended. This game, Building Relationships, developed by Tan Ant Games. Oh my goodness. I love it. It's different. It's unusual. It's nice, it's different, it's unusual. And it's essentially, it's just, you're a house going to a resort island looking for love. It's a dating sim with buildings. How awesome is that? And it's just, would not even thought of this idea. Essentially, you're a house. Your house to be out. Your house moves like a person would. Well, not really like a person would. The house doesn't have legs, so in order for the house to move, you're rolling around. You're rolling and dashing to get. It's kind of like a short hike almost. So it's like rolling and dashing to get from point A to point B. You're meeting other buildings that are there and, other items as well. It's just really fascinating. And when I played the demo, the dialogue, oh my goodness, the dialogue's actually quite hilarious. It also does get a little saucy, by the way. So let me just read the description that the developers have written up for this game on Steam. Roll, jump, and wave dash as a house on a date in this silly adventure game. Meet eccentric structures, romance eligible bachelor expats, and uncover the meaning of life. Or you could just go fishing instead, though we replace the fish with cars to make more sense. So yeah, the fish in this game when you go fishing are vehicles. It could be a truck, it could be a car, it could be an ambulance. It could be anything. It's a vehicle of sorts because you're a house. And so you catch fish, which are cars. But also, apparently, your diet consists of furniture because you eat furniture. Because, that's what goes inside a house, inside a building, inside these structures. It's furniture. It's hilarious. It is so much fun. The dialogue just had me smiling from ear to ear. And wow, like I would not have thought. And not to mention the fact that you're also having to choose responses, and some of these responses, my goodness, they make me laugh. They make me laugh so much. It is such a great looking game. Graphically, probably not the greatest, but just in terms of its art style, it's different. It's new, and I love the way that it's who cares? Just you can tell what everything is. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it still runs well, and it's just a lot of fun. And you're a house on a date, looking for a date. I think there's nothing else to be said here. It's the title just sells itself. The final game that I want to talk about that came out of Day of the Devs is called After Love EP. After Love EP is a story-rich adventure game, and there's some rhythm games in it as like a rhythm mini game, I suppose. That's available to play in After Love EP. Now, After Love EP is from the creators of Coffee Talk and What Comes After, of which I've played both, and they're both amazing. And this particular story is essentially about a young musician who is essentially going through some grief because they lost their girlfriend. their partner, and they're really like depressed essentially. They were in a band. They were the lead singer. They also play the guitar. So you actually get to play the guitar in the game as well, which is really cool. The art style of this game is actually very pretty and very unique. I really like the look of it. It's a kind of almost anime, but not really. So it's really cute. It's based in Jakarta, Indonesia, which is really cool. And it's developed by Pixelnesia. So it's actually a really, really cool looking story-rich game. And I am very much looking forward to this. It's definitely going to hit the feels for sure. I did really enjoy playing the demo. And the demo is still available for anyone else to check out on Steam. So if you're looking into maybe checking it out, the demo is still available. Yeah, it's just really sort of nice and simple art style. And the story itself is really well written. Like the dialogue in the game is really nice. There is some element of voice acting, but it's only one particular character that does the voice acting, and that is Sinta, which is the girlfriend that passed away. She is the only voice that you will hear in this game, or at least from what I got from the demo itself. The rest of the dialogue you'll need to read for yourself, but it's actually really good. And there is some light humor in it as well, but it's mainly sort of tackling the grief aspect and the moving forward. So it's a bit of mental health going on in this particular game. So yeah, I am really looking forward to checking this one out. Afterlove EP doesn't have a release date yet, but they are planning on releasing it sometime in 2024. So sometime later this year. So we'll see when that happens. But also, apparently, one of the artists that worked on this game was working on this game, but unfortunately passed away as well. So yeah, that's also a really interesting sort of I think the developers, the developing team, thought, it would be best to finish it off on that person's behalf, which is really sweet. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to checking out Afterlove EP. Going into the Wholesome Direct, which by the way is actually one of my favorite showcases of all time. I love Wholesome Games. Not just the team over at Wholesome Games, but also just games that are wholesome in general. Wholesome and cozy games are definitely my jam. I love them a lot. And the Wholesome Direct is my favorite from the whole of Summer Games Fest. I always love checking it out. This particular Direct from this year, they had about 70 different announcements for games. And that was insane. It was so overwhelming. And they did it all in like 50 minutes to an hour. My goodness, there was a plethora of games to check out. So many announcements, so many games available, and a lot of them do have demos to check out. So the next game I want to talk about, which came out of the Wholesome Direct, is called Tiny Bookshop. Now, I've actually had this one on my wish lists, I think, since last year, but they made another appearance on the Wholesome Direct. And this time around, they pretty much mentioned that there was a demo available to play. And they've given us a bit more sort of like a gameplay trailer. And I played the demo. Now, this game, Tiny Bookshop, it is a management sim. You are essentially a bookshop owner, but you've taken over like a little trailer sort of a thing that's attached to the back of your car. And you can decorate it, but essentially you're selling books out of it. And it's actually really cute. I really like the look of it. It's a hand-drawn sort of an art style. It's really pretty, very sort of pastel sort of colors. And it's just got some really cozy vibes as you drive around like coastal areas where you're selling books by the beach. Like, my goodness, how cool is that? You're also selling like secondhand books. You also have to kind of prioritize your customers' wants and needs in terms of genre when you're selling your books. So before you open up for the day, you can, purchase books for your bookshop, and you can purchase different genres. I think there's like about maybe 6 or 7 different genres to choose from. But depending on what your customers are looking for, sometimes you'll get customers coming in, they'll find a book, they'll try to find another one, or, sometimes they'll be like, oh, I didn't find a book that I like. And it'll also give you some insight into what your customers have been buying, what they have been asking for. And then you sort of just prioritize according to that, and you cycle your shelves around. You can reorganize your shelves with the books in it. It's actually really cool. I kind of liked the thought of this game. I played the demo. Unfortunately, when I was playing the demo, I didn't really get to play much of the demo because it crashed on me a couple of times. I don't know if it was because of the fact that I was playing the demo and I was streaming at the same time. Maybe that was a cause of the crashes, maybe not. I actually haven't tried since then, but I feel like I might have to give the Tiny Bookshop demo another go and see whether or not it was because of the fact that I was streaming that it was having issues. Otherwise, it's actually a really cool game. There's a story element to it as well, like an overarching story. You're meeting new people. They're giving you new books, old books. You get to see, it's just like really pretty scenery wherever you go with your bookshop, and it's actually really cool. I actually really like the concept of this game. I've been into some, management style games in the last like maybe 12 months. And this one is actually really nice, very concise, very small. So it's nothing too complicated. And it's just wholesome coziness with selling books. Like, so cool. I really like it. And the fact that you can also, you can decorate your bookshop trailer. It's just, yeah, it's great. I love it. It's a really cool concept. So yeah, go check out Tiny Bookshop. The demo is still available to play on Steam. I'm not sure if it's coming to other consoles, but for all of the Wholesome Direct announcements and any of the demos that I talk about today, you can easily just Google them and then they'll pop up. And hopefully, if the developers have their own website, it'll tell you where the games are coming into in terms of what platform they're coming to. Otherwise, most of the time, you'll just get a Steam page, a Steam store page. Tiny Bookshop is developed by Neoludic Games, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. And it looks great. Great, cozy looking game. So definitely go and have a look at Tiny Bookshop. Another game that I played the demo for that also came out of the Wholesome Direct was Fruit Bus. Fruit Bus is actually an interesting one. I played a little bit of it. It, like, from the trailers. Now this is going to be one of those ones. Remember how I said there were games that I didn't have on my wish list? Actually, no, this one I did have on my wish list. Games that I have on my wish list that I played the demo to and then didn't jive with. Fruit Bus was one of them, unfortunately. Fruit Bus wasn't for me. It is a sort of management style game. You are essentially going around in a food truck selling fruit-based meals, right? So like fruit salads, sandwiches, just like meals in general, smoothies, all that sort of stuff. And you're going from town to town selling all these different types of meals from your food truck. Now, I played the demo to this. Unfortunately, there wasn't much in terms of like instructions. Now, when I say there wasn't enough instructions, the characters do try to sort of kind of guide you into what you need to continue the story, and in order to then move along and open up and do your, sell all your food from the food truck and all that sort of stuff from your fruit bus, essentially. And I'm not saying that I wanted to be spoon-fed, pun intended. I didn't want it to be holding my hand, essentially, but there still wasn't enough guidance in terms of like there's no hint system from what I played in the demo. They might still be working on the game in terms of adding in hint systems or whatever. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but from the demo, there's no hint systems. I got stuck with something that there was no instruction on how to do one particular thing, or to find one particular thing to do the thing, because I don't want to spoil it, because I don't want to. This is the thing with when I'm talking about these games, whether I love them or not, I would still rather you check out these games demos for yourself, because my opinion's my opinion. Like, something that doesn't jive with me might jive with you. Something that I really absolutely loved, you might hate. So it's always worth checking out the demo to see for yourself. So even though I felt a little bit negative about Fruit Bus, that doesn't mean that you're going to have the same feeling. So I would still say go check out the demo, see if you like it, and then if you don't and you kind of agree with me, or if you had the same sort of if you ended up having the same sort of situation as I did, the same experience as I did, then you'll understand kind of how I'm feeling. But I couldn't. I love the idea of it being like this little food truck that goes around from town to town, and you meet all these new people. Well, I say people. They're anthropomorphic animals that you're essentially selling to. And you're putting on these little events, and you can sort of set up like a bit of a seating area, or you can have parties or whatnot while you're selling all your fruit, essentially, which is really cool. But the other thing I will mention, you do also have to forage for your, not only forage for the fruit that you're going to sell, but you also have to buy items for your fruit bus to customize it. You also need equipment and all that sort of stuff. So this is a management game, essentially. You're managing a food truck and selling and all that sort of stuff. So, but not only that, you're also cooking all of the food that you're going to be selling. So there is that element that I will mention. If you're into that sort of thing, go for it. Have fun. The demo is still up on Steam. It is developed by Krillbite Studio. So go and show them some love as well. But yeah, just for me, Fruit Bus was one of those ones that was on my wish list. I played the demo, and I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. So yeah, the art style, I will say, is also very cute and whimsical. So that also has something going for it. But yeah, just Fruit Bus is unfortunately not for me. But go check it out, see for yourself, and let me know if you really enjoyed Fruit Bus. This next game, I'm going to be ranting and raving about because this is Lost and Found Co. I loved playing this demo. The art style to this is so cool. I love it. It is colorful. It is bright. It's kind of anime-like. It's okay. Let me tell you what type of game Lost and Found Co. is. Lost and Found Co. is a hidden objects game. It is very cozy. It's also very comedical. It has some very funny dialogue. There is a bit of a story to this. It's really cute, but it's just, I don't know. It's definitely a game I never thought I would enjoy. I don't mind hidden object games. They're pretty cool. I haven't really extensively gone into them. However, thanks to this particular demo, I feel like I want to go looking for them a bit more. This hidden objects game has made me want to go and do my own little hidden objects thing where it's more of a hidden objects games that I need to discover. And discovering Lost and Found Co. just brightened up my day when I played the demo. My goodness, it is so much fun. It does get a little complicated though, I will say. depending on how well your attention span is. If you're very good at if you've got a very good attention to detail, then you will definitely pick up on all of the objects that you're supposed to be finding within the game. However, due to the amount of people and objects and scenery, the scenery is huge. But the good thing about this game is it allows you to zoom in and zoom out when you need to, just by using your scroll wheel, your mouse scroll wheel. The art style of it is just so awesome. I love the look of this. And it just looking at the screenshots on the Steam store page, it just makes me smile. I just love it. It's adorable. It's very quirky is the other thing I will say. The characters in this is very quirky. It's a little bit of like a wholesome, cozy kind of adventure where and it's also a casual game, so you can sort of go into this game, play a little bit of the level, and then come out of it, and then go back into it another time. So there is saveability. The other thing that got me was, this was just in the demo too, so I don't know how extensive it goes once the full game is released. It's you can customize your office. So Lost and Found Co. is the company that helps others find things. Hence why it's a hidden object game. And I love the idea of the fact that you also have an office for your company, but you can customize your office. The external of it, at least, you can customize. I don't know if you can customize the internal part of the office, but the external part of the building itself, you can customize. Like you can customize the roof, the walls, the garden area, the fencing and the gates. It's so cool. I love this game. I'm very excited for the full release of this game. The demo itself, I will also say, the demo does actually give you quite a bit to check out. So it is a very good demo. I would highly recommend you check it out. It gives you a few levels of the story mode, but it also gives you a few levels of side quests. There are side quests in this game as well. So it's definitely worth checking out. It's 2D. So you don't have to worry about any sort of like 3D elements, kind of like, it's not like Tiny Lands, where that's very 3D and you sort of have to there's like a there's no camera movement in this. The only camera movement you get is the zooming in and out. That's it. Otherwise, you zoom in, you zoom out, you pan around to see when you're zoomed in, you can sort of pan around. But there's no like 3D camera movement where you're sort of moving around the area. It's just a flat 2D sort of a picture. But there's movement. Everything you click on is interactable. There is a sound effect for almost everything that you click on as well. And it's just so good. You can even click on the people because there'll be like a little bar at the bottom that gives you the objects and people to find in that scenery. And so you do get to click on the people, and the people will make sounds, and it's so cute. It's so good. I can gush about Lost and Found Co. for a very long time. This game is developed by Bit Egg Inc. And there's no release date yet. I really want this game so bad. Oh, you don't know how excited I am for Lost and Found Co. You have no idea. Anyway, I'm going to stop gushing about it because I could be here all night. But yeah, it's coming soon. I hope that will be in the near future soon. Please. Come on, Bit Egg Inc. Please send it out to us already. I hope you're ready. I think they're just sort of finalizing all the things and hopefully we'll get some form of like release window at least as to when potentially it'll be coming. If it's not coming by the end of this year, then it's most likely coming out next year, hopefully. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Lost and Found Co. Oh, did I also mention there are tanukis involved in this game too, and ducks and other animals. Anyway, I'm going to move on because I am talking too much about this game. Moving on. Another demo that I played. Man, there are so many games. How many more games did I play from the Wholesome Direct? I don't think I've played, not recently, not in June at least. I haven't played the demos from some of the games that have been announced in the Wholesome Direct. However, I will say I played Spilled last year. I played the demo to Spilled last year. Now, last year when it was announced, it didn't have any kind of like graphical updates to it in terms of the demo. Spilled got an announcement at the Wholesome Direct, and their announcement was the fact that the demo graphics were updated, essentially, which is really cool. Because when I played it, it was still a really cool concept for a game. It is a casual, sort of a linear nature-related game where you're cleaning up the oceans. You're a little boat. You're controlling a little boat. It's kind of like it's a boat that cleans up the oceans, apparently, essentially. And you're going around. There's like oil patches that you have to sort of clean up, and then the oil that you clean up from the oceans, from the water, fills up a tank on your boat. You then have to go to these depots where you have to empty out your tanks from the boat. You get money for it so that you can add upgrades to your boat. There's like a sort of like a scoop at the front of the boat, which also helps with collecting like rubbish that you find in the water as well, which you then have to maneuver towards the depots for recycling purposes, which you also get money for. So, and then every time you clear out an area, there's also, animals that you have to kind of save. There you can add attachments to your boat where it allows you to clean up surfaces on cliff faces and rocks to get rid of more oils from there. It's really sort of like a conservational kind of a game. and it sort of gives you more of an insight into into our environment. So it's a really cool concept. It's it's kind of a pixel art sort of graphics. It's really pretty, and yeah, it's really chill as well. It's very chill, very cozy, and yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, definitely check out Spilled. Demo is still available on Steam, so I would highly recommend you go check it out. Developers for Spilled is Lent, I think. Lent or Lenter? Lenter? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but Lente. So they're the developers. Go check it out. Spilled. Good game. Going into the women-led games showcase that happened during Summer Games Fest. And I think that was one of the last showcases that I actually watched as well, throughout that particular weekend. I played the demo to Sunnyside, which is coming to PC and consoles, I think. I definitely know it's coming to PlayStation. Not 100% sure if it's coming to Switch and Xbox, but I have a feeling it might be coming to Xbox. I'm not sure about Switch. We'll see what happens. Sunnyside is an exploration farming sim JRPG. And you are playing as a character in the Japanese countryside who ends up buying up a plot of land, but this land does not have a building or anything on it. So you have to create your own life there. You have to build your own house. You have to create your own farm to get your resources, all that sort of stuff. It's a farming sim, but it's also, there's some exploration elements involved. There's an overarching story to it as well. And it's just like you can create your own farm and building, and it's Japanese. It's really pretty. And it's like anime characters too. Like, that's kind of cool. That's really cool as well. Meeting all these different characters. It's an interesting concept for a game. I played this demo. I did originally have this on my wish list, but I wish listed it because of the women-led games showcase. So I saw it come up on the showcase. I put it on my wish list, and then I found out, hey, they've got a demo for it. Cool, I'll play it. I played the demo. Unfortunately for me, I had the same issue that I had with, what was the game that I was talking about earlier? Fruit, was it Fruit Bus? No. Tiny Bookshop. I had the same sort of similar issue with Tiny Bookshop. It kind of crashed on me at one point, but I wasn't streaming. This time I wasn't streaming. This was just me and my PC. That's it. So I played the demo. It crashed on me once. All right. Let me try it again, see what happens. Jump back into it. Unfortunately, my graphics card is not the greatest, as I've mentioned earlier. And there was a bit of lagging happening. So the graphics, I don't know if it will happen for everyone, but for me, definitely, there was a lot of lag, and it just graphically wasn't meeting. Like, I'll go into the settings when games start lagging on me on my PC. I will go into the settings to bring the the resolution down and all that sort of stuff. So I'll do what I can so that it actually doesn't use up so much processing power on my PC, so that I can then play it properly, even if the graphics won't look the greatest, but at least I'll get an idea of what the game's about. Unfortunately, even doing that, it still wasn't running the way that I wanted it to. So there was still quite a lot of lag. I don't mind farming. I don't mind farming sims. I really don't. But this one got to a point where in the demo there was a lot more to do. It gave you enough sort of guidance and instructions on how to do things, but I think it also then got to a point where it was giving you instructions to almost everything for the first hour essentially of the game, or at least the demo. I wanted to keep playing it, but I wasn't enjoying it as much as I thought I would. Given the fact that it's, you can craft your own tools, you can build your own home from scratch. It's farming, it's cozy. You're also exploring places. There are also consequences in playing when your character's playing right through the night. You do have energy levels and hunger levels that you have to keep an eye on. So it's sort of similar to a Stardew Valley thing where you have to keep an eye on your HP and all that sort of stuff. That sort of style of gaming, there's a bit of survival involved, but it's not like you're frustratingly stressed out about dying or anything like that. It's still pretty casual. It's still pretty chill. But when it says that you have to kind of survive a little bit, I know that's part of the challenge of the game, but I'm just not really into that as much as I thought I would. I've tried playing Stardew Valley. Maybe I think it was last year when the Nintendo Switch Nintendo gave NSO members the opportunity to trial the game. So I did play the trial. Didn't really jive with me. Didn't really click with me. I don't know. I don't mind farming sims. I've played farming sims, but this one for some reason just didn't click. Didn't click with me, unfortunately. But I'm still glad that I got to check out the demo to Sunnyside. It looks interesting. It might be for someone. Unfortunately, it's not for me, to be honest. This one's being developed by Rainy Games. And it looks cool. I just didn't jive with the gameplay itself myself. So go check out Sunnyside if you'd like. The demo is still available on Steam. I'm not sure if there's a demo on PlayStation, but it is listed on the store, on the PlayStation store. So have a look. Maybe it is available. But it is also available to buy. So you can currently buy Sunnyside right now on Steam. Go for it. But yeah, it just didn't really click with me. So Sunnyside was removed from my wish list. Alrighty. I'm just going to roll off a list of games from the Steam Next Fest of the demos that I've played. So the ones that I mention, if you'd like to check out their demos, their respective demos, or if you want to see their Steam store page, go and check them out on Steam. I'm not 100% sure if they'll be available on all other consoles, but I definitely know these will be coming to Steam. That's where I found them, and that's where I played them, hence why it's Steam Next Fest. I don't know why I'm explaining myself, but I just, that's just me. Some of these I will probably I've already played and I've already talked about. Lost and Found Co., Tiny Bookshop, Pie and a Story of Loss. Pie and a Story of Loss is a visual novel. It's very pretty, very chill, but it also delves into grief and the loss of a loved one. So there is going to be some feels. The music in this is actually great. It's excellent. It really gets you into that sort of vibe and feel the emotions that the main character is feeling. There are some flashbacks with the character's partner, and yeah, it's really cool. It's a really good looking game. So I played the demo to that. please check out Pie and a Story of Loss. I also checked out Undusted Letters from the Past. This one is essentially kind of like not really a puzzle game. It's you're sitting there and you're cleaning up objects. So you're sort of dusting off dirt and grime and sort of giving them a bit of a new life, giving these objects new life. But each object has its own little story. So it's actually a really cool looking game. Definitely worth checking out. I've played the demo for it. You can too. I've also played a language-based educational game called So to Speak. And So to Speak is a Japanese-based educational game. And it's actually done really well. It shows you the words in Japanese, so in the actual Japanese script, and then it'll give you the Romaji version and also the English version. And you have to, it's kind of like a match 'em up kind of a game. And then eventually, once you find a number of words within that scenery, you then get to a point where you can construct sentences. And it's actually a really cool concept. I really like it. I learnt Japanese for almost 2 years. I went to an actual Japanese school here in Melbourne, going to classes, doing homework, doing sort of speaking, sort of practice speaking and writing and reading. My learnings got me as far as, a few words in kanji, because I was also learning how to read and write, not just speak. And I got to sort of like the beginnings of kanji. But unfortunately, I couldn't continue on with the lessons due to, personal reasons. So I had to stop going to classes. Now, So to Speak is actually a really, really cool idea for a game because it sort of combines all of the different elements that I learnt, apart from the speaking side of things. However, if you're playing this game, I would definitely recommend trying to actually pronounce them out loud for yourself. I know it's a little harder when there's no one there to actually correct you, like a teacher or a person that actually speaks Japanese. However, it's actually really good practice to be able to say words out loud, so that you can hear it for yourself, even though the game is giving you the pronunciations. But it's good to practice as well. It's also a great way to practice seeing the Japanese script. I don't know if you know this, but the Japanese use 3 different alphabets. They have hiragana, katakana, and kanji. 3 alphabets. They combine all 3 of those alphabets together to construct their sentences. Hiragana is the Japanese script. Kanji is Chinese script, but also can be read in Japanese. Katakana is used for words that are not Japanese. So non-Japanese words, essentially. So not just English, but also any other foreign language to the Japanese, they use katakana, which is really interesting because when you see katakana, you can tell the difference between katakana and hiragana, because hiragana, the symbols are very curved, whereas katakana, the symbols are very sort of straight, sharp lines, which is it's a great way to differentiate between the two. And then you can actually tell which one's the foreign language compared to the Japanese word. So to Speak is, like I said, go check it out. It's really good. That one's still on my wish list because I want to continue learning Japanese myself. So that's a really good one to check out. Tiny Glade is another one I played. Tiny Glade is essentially a sort of like a sandbox kind of a building game, but it's very sort of cozy, it's nature, and you're just sort of like building walls and castles. It's very casual. The look of it is very pretty. It has a photo mode, which I love. I love it when games incorporate photo mode because it means that you're going to get some really nice and stylistic shots, which then you could use as a background on your desktop. Like, why the heck not? They've got some really pretty scenery. You can change the time of day. You can change the season. You can incorporate, like, there's sheep in here. Like, why wouldn't you have this game? You get to have sheep. You can customize different colors of the buildings, of the walls, of the roofs. It looks very, I don't know how to say it. It's very kind of like, very medieval looking sort of architecture, very historic looking. You can not only can you make buildings, you can build the buildings and then make ruins out of them, which is really awesome as well. That's really cool. Like, who would have thought to actually create something like that in a sandbox game where not only are you making the buildings, but you can actually create ruins out of them, and it still looks very stylistic too. I would definitely recommend that game. They do also preface, when you load up the game, it does come up with a warning a warning dialogue box. It'll tell you whether or not your computer is actually compatible with the graphics of this game, because this game requires the use of graphics processing quite a bit. I still went ahead and played it anyway to see whether or not my PC could actually handle it. And funnily enough, it was actually fine playing it just off the PC with nothing else running in the background. It was totally fine. The resolution was fine. There was no crashes. So I really enjoyed playing this game so much. The demo is no longer available to play, but keep it on your wish list. There's a possibility they might bring out another demo at some point, even though they've got a planned release date of Q3 2024. You never know. But Tiny Glade, great game. Developers, Pounce Light. It's just so pretty. And I don't normally play a lot of sandboxy games because when I do, I get a little bored. When there's no sort of end mission or there's no task to follow, no instructions, it's just go do whatever you want, I tend to get bored of that quite quickly. But for some reason, Tiny Glade didn't do that for me, and I really like that. So I think it might just be the nature aspect of it being, and the fact that it's just really relaxing, and I think the fact that you just want to build something to take really nice photos with, maybe that's the reason why I really enjoyed the demo to this. But I'm definitely looking forward to playing Tiny Glade. I would highly recommend you go wishlist it and check it out for yourself at some point, for sure. Thank Goodness You're Here is another game that I have on my wish list and that I also played the demo of. Oh my goodness, this, Thank Goodness You're Here, is very funny. It uses a lot of British humor, and it's 2D. It's a cartoon. The art style is very whimsical, very just. It's just really cool. I kind of like the look of this. It's kind of a bit of an adventure game. You're playing as a little traveling salesman that's going around helping people, but I'm saying you're little. You're actually quite small. You're short. You're a short little man running around town helping people get things done. But you're also a bit clumsy. And it's just really weird, but it's like slapstick humor, like slapstick British humor. It's so good. I love it. I am really looking forward to this. If you like that sort of humor, slapstick humor, British humor, if you know Monty Python, if you like that sort of thing, you're gonna enjoy this. Definitely, you're gonna enjoy this. There's some just seeing like all these different screenshots come up on their Steam store page and just making me giggle so much. Yeah, I would highly recommend go check out. Thank goodness you're here. The demo is still available to play, so please go check it out. The developers are Cole Supper. It just, yeah, it's just good fun. Just good old fun, and you'll have a smile on your face by the end of it, for sure. Another game that I checked out from Steam Next Fest is Tukoni. The prologue is available to play, so if you are interested in a little bit of a like a story-rich kind of game, it's point-and-click puzzle, very cute. Art style is very soft. I don't know if that's a way to describe the art style. It's just very soft, no hard lines. You're in nature, you're in a forest, you're a little forest spirit going around helping other characters that you might come across. There's a little bit of puzzles involved. It's quite cute. And I kind of like it. It's really nice. I like the look of it. I played the prologue. The prologue is available to play for free. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be available next year by the look of their Steam store page. It's their planned release date says 2025. But it is definitely worth checking out. A lot of people are looking into getting this. So yeah, it is being made by the developers at Dream Operator. So please go check them out and check out Tukoni Forest Keepers. A few other demos that I checked out as well. I'll just sort of roll them off now. Wax Heads, really good, really cool looking art style. Bit of a sort of a point and click visual novel again, but you are working in a record store or vinyl shop, recommending different vinyl to customers. And it's really interesting. Lightyear Frontier is another demo I checked out. That one is a kind of like a farming survival sort of a game. Farming sim survival, but it's a very cozy survival. It's not like you're battling anything. You're essentially, you crash land onto a planet. You have your mech droid. You use your mech droid to build and forage, to help create things, to craft, do all sorts of stuff. But you're essentially building up your own sort of a farm, and you're surviving on it because it's a planet that doesn't really have any inhabitants on it. It's really cool. Again, I will preface: you might need a PC with not really high-end graphics, but needs to work because this particular game does utilize quite a lot of high-end graphics. Looks very pretty. My goodness, the screenshot. I think I got a couple of screenshots from it. There is a photo mode in it, by the way, which I really do like. Screenshots I got were phenomenal. But yeah, it's very graphically intensive. So I would recommend having a PC with good resolution and graphics card. But my PC was able to run it, so I think it'll be fine. As long as you're not like streaming or doing other things at the same time, it should be fine. But that one I played the demo. I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I know that I probably won't be able to get around to playing it anytime soon. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to remove it from my wish list so it's not, there every time I go and see it, be like, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to play it sort of thing. So I thought, you know what, just going to get rid of it for now. If at some point in the future I decide I want to check out something and it pops up again, maybe then I'll check it out. But Lightyear Frontier, definitely worth having a look at. I would definitely recommend it. And I think that might be it, actually. Oh, yeah, and another game, last demo I will mention, is another visual novel by the name of Until Then, which is currently out now. And it's a pixel art, graphics, interactive fiction. It's really good sort of dialogue in this particular game. The story, it's really cool. I'll just read off the description that the developers have written up on their Steam store page. A fateful meeting sets off a chain reaction, upending Mark's life. People disappear and memories prove unreliable. Uncover a hidden truth with Mark and his friends in this narrative adventure and race to unravel the mystery before it's too late. There's quite a lot to this game. It's very it's full of things to do. It's made by the developers at Polychroma Games. And it just looks really interesting, and the story's cool. I really like the look of it. And you're essentially a kid named Mark who's in high school. He's trying to get by. He's very lazy. He will just pass classes, but he really, really adores his friends. He will help them. The other thing I will say, though, is even though he's a lazy kid, he's actually quite smart. He's a very smart student. If he put in the effort, he would get A's, but he would rather just cruise through high school and not worry about studying too much. But he's got really good close friends. It's just a really awesome sounding story, and I really want to learn more about it. The demo is still available at the moment if you want to check it out. But it just got released, and there is an introductory offer where there's 10% off the original price. So if you do play the demo and you're interested in buying the full game like me, I would definitely recommend grabbing this particular game during its current introductory offer. I will say, though, at the time of recording, it says that the offer ends on the 10th of July, which at the time of recording is a week out. So I don't know whether or not that offer will still stand by the time you listen to this episode. I apologize if it's no longer there. But if you wish list it at some point down the future, especially maybe when the festive season comes around and Black Friday happens, usually there's usually always a major sale on Steam when that happens, especially during the festive season. So yeah, keep it wish listed, play the demo, enjoy it, and let me know your thoughts on Until Then. But that's going to be it from me. My throat and my mouth is getting very dry and sore and croaky. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for listening. I would love to know what demos you have played, and whether or not you're really looking forward to them, or if you were like me, where some of them didn't really jive with you after playing the demo. So yeah, let me know what games you've played the demos of. Maybe recommend some games to me that I haven't checked out for myself. If you couldn't tell from the style of games that I have mentioned throughout this episode, I play a lot of indie games, and most of them are very wholesome, cozy style. I like puzzle games as well, so it really depends. I like management sims. So yeah, please, if you do have recommendations on games that have demos, let me know. Comment away, that'll be great, and I'll learn something new from you. So that'd be really awesome. That's it from me. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the Many Thoughts I Have podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you could give a 5-star review or rating on your podcast service of choice. You can find me on socials at Foolish Fuji on X and Instagram. For video content, you can head over to youtube.com/Foolish Fuji. And for my live streams, twitch.tv/Foolish Fuji. All this and more will be on my website, foolishfuji.card.co. That's card with 2 R's. All of the info I've just rolled off will be in the show notes. That's it from me. Remember to look after yourself and your mental health. And happy thinking, friends.